5 proven real estate closing techniques that work. All right, guys, let's get into it. These are for real estate agents. Of course, they're going to work with other things as well. But I'm just going to give you 5 proven closing techniques, and I'll throw in a bonus at the end if you stick around. There's a lot of great ones. I'm just going to start out with a few things. So, doesn't matter really what the situation you're in. I have used this one so many times throughout my career. It works so well. I hear it reiterated. There's different versions of it, but it's the 1 to 10 close. This one is powerful. This is the one you truly want to use first. I have another little bonus technique that I'll include that works really well with it, but this is one of the best closings because it uncovers the real objection. That's why I really like this one. So if you were to say, and there's different variations, but I'll throw one out. If you were to say on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 means you love me, you are ready to move forward right now, and 1 means you hate me, there's no chance, I never want to work with you. Where are we at right now? Now, this is where we want to listen. This gives them an opportunity to really kind of share openly, right? Now, they may say 10. This happens a lot. If it's going really well and I throw that out there, say, boom, 10. Okay, great. And we just move forward, close. But if they say anything below a 10, let's say they say an 8 or a 9, it's so easy. Hey, oh, that's so great. Thank you so much. What would it take to make it a 10? Now they give you that one little thing that's holding them back, or you haven't mentioned, or it's not clear enough. They might say, this other person talked about this. Oh, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful you brought that up. We actually do that too. I think I went over it, but not clear enough, obviously. So here's what, okay, do you see how that can uncover that one thing that they were going to go forward with? Now, if they say, hey, let's say it's a 5 to 7. Well, hey, tell me what's keeping it right from being higher. I might even take a reverse approach to this. Well, what gets it up to that 7 range? Okay, this, and this. Okay, what do we need to do to get it to that 10 for you? So sometimes I'll do a two-part like that, right? Or I'll have them build up things they like, and then I will do it. Oh, so what made it a 7? What got it up at least that high? Oh, this. Great. What would it take? How close are we to that 10? What does it need? And it's the same thing. You're uncovering the real objection. The only difference is I like to sometimes do that build up first. So they're starting to say some things they really like. And then just the 1 or 2 things, right, that needs to improve or hold it back wasn't mentioned, whatever, right? That's keeping it away. Now, if it's below 5, okay, I have a little different approach. Oh, wow, that sounds like there's a much bigger concern. Help me understand it. Okay, this is going to keep the conversation more comfortable instead of being pushy. And it gives you that chance to uncover the concern. That's why I love this one. We can get to the real concern or uncover those, then we can start to address it. So, definitely one of my go-tos for sure. Um, I love it. Another go-to is making sure you subscribe to the channel, right? This is real world experience. I've used all of these clothes many times with high success, and they just work so well. So make sure you're watching this every single day, right? I'm going to bring that value for you. I understand what can help you, what I've helped so many other agents with. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hopefully if one of these clothes, if you're using it, or if you like my adaptation to the 1 to 10 clothes, right? The little pivot helps. And get in my free coaching group. And then if you're ready, let's just take right the jump into the paid. Then just reach out to me and say, hey, here's what I'm doing. What's the next thing I should be doing? And I can absolutely help you improve. Done it so many times. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go number 2, the Columbo close. I like this whole close. This was definitely can be very effective too. I always usually go with the 1 to 10, but I have used the Columbus close very effectively also. So this is from some old show back several years ago. And the Columbo guy would always, right before he leaves the door, he would say, hey, just one more thing, right? And it made famous by a TV detective, Columbo. So go watch one show. I think they're kind of all the similar or the same. Before I go, just one more thing. When you're at the door and you turn around. Now, I have actually done this. And I did it after they say, oh, yeah, you know what? We need to think about it or whatever. And I said, okay, is there anything we do? And no, no, we're good. I said, oh, no problem. So I got all my stuff. I gathered up. I was there for at least an hour and a half, right? Really thought build rapport. And then I did do that. I went to the door and I said, hey, before I go, just one more thing. Now, I'm going to give you a few variations. I said, hey, I know you're not going to be listening with me. It's totally fine. But I just would really like to know the real reason why you're not. And they go, "Oh, it's just the money, Frank. You know, the percent you were at was just a little bit higher out of our budget because we were really hoping to keep, that for our plans. They had the money already spent." I said, "Really? That's the only thing holding you back?" And I said, "I'll tell you what. Do you have three people that you can get me right now that you think would be looking to buy or sell? And if that's the case, I can get you what you're looking for on that commission." Really? Well, it just seemed you're so high. We like all the stuff. But I said, let's sit down. Who do you know that's thinking? So not only did I get the close, they gave me three referrals from this. I uncovered the real reason and said, hey, I'm already here. If you could help me out and get me in front of a few more people. And I got three referrals, which I believe all three ended up buying within a year. It was incredible. But it was off that Columbo close. And now there's a couple of variations, right? So I just said, hey, just one more thing. Hey, what's the real reason? I know we were close, da da da. I did that. But you could also say, what's the one thing holding you back? You could say, hey, what would you need to feel comfortable to move forward? That's another good variation. Is there something we haven't talked about yet? So people often reveal the objection after they think the pressure is off. And this is when I go to the door and I turn around. And I will say this has worked very well. Okay. And you can even use it in combination. 1 to 10, you do that. For whatever it is you didn't, you can go into the Columbo close at the end and do that. And I have done that combination that worked as well. Not saying it works every single time, but I'm saying it gives you that chance to get the real reason. Now, whether you can overcome that or connect, that's different. But you want to know the real reason of why they're not going with you. Because let's say something else was just way better. Now we know to improve it. That's okay too. We're going to win or learn. That's the important part of this. Okay, number 3, the assumptive close. Okay, instead of asking if they want to move forward, we ask how they like to proceed. And often I might say, hey, I know we talked about getting those amazing pictures right at the perfect time of day. Well, the photographers I have, those always get booked up. But I can go ahead and reach out to them because I know you mentioned you want to get us going. Would Thursday or Friday work better to get those pictures for you scheduled? Often they'll just say, oh, yeah, let's do it on Thursday. It's done. Do you see how I'm just assuming that they're going to close? Okay. That's a great way that I did was scheduling the pictures to get this going for the listing appointment. Okay. Now you can say there's different variations of it, but you want to give a choice, right? Mornings or afternoons. Okay. Work better for this, or do we want to schedule that open house this Saturday? Whatever it is. But we're using that to close. And a lot of times they're just like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Because then, okay, they know that that's a priority. There's a little FOMO there, right? If we're going to do it, let's do it. And if they're close, they're just going to say, yeah, let's just do it, right? Because it's giving them a choice. They could still say, oh, we're not going to do it. I know, but it still works a lot that I have done it. Okay. And I usually use it off of scheduling the pictures at the perfect golden magic hour, right? Okay. Number 4, the choice close. So instead of asking a yes or no question, right, you might say, hey, would you rather do this next week or after the holiday? Right? Then they're picking again. Would you like a 30-day agreement or a 60-day agreement? Or it could be a 60 or a 90 or a 90, whatever it is, right? Give them the two variations. So a lot of times people like making choices rather than making decisions. So that can be another way that you can practice to have on that, right? Another tool, if you will, for the toolbox. And I don't use these as much, but they work. I have done them before and they work. I just felt really comfortable, right, with the once I got the 1 to 10 and then the Columbo or Assumptive. So I had those, but it's kind of a similar one, right, to the Assumptive Close, the choice. Now, here's another great one that can work depending on the mindset. Another one I really like. It's called the summary close, right? So you're going to recap everything they've told you. Okay. And I'll sometimes do this in the listing presentation too, and it kind of seals it up. So I'll say, hey, we're going to go over this, go all over the marketing. I'll write this part. Then we're going to talk about the price of the home, and then ultimately, right, the commission. We're going to go through all of those things, and once you're in agreement with all of those, then we'll go ahead and move forward. Okay, is that all right? And they're like, yes. Okay. So the summary close is a great one on that because I'm kind of summarizing that part that I've done at the beginning. And now I'll say, hey, you told me you wanted to move before school start to maximize your home's value and avoid having it sit on the market. Work with someone who communicates well with you. And based on everything we've discussed, I believe we can accomplish these goals together. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, why is this powerful? Well, people often convince themselves when they hear their own reasons repeated back. So what I'll do is I'll take notes during the presentation of the things that are most important to them or that they mentioned or said that they wanted, right? So I'm actively listening, but I'm taking those notes. Then I'm formulating that into the close at the end. And it's very powerful in some cases. So do you see how I have? Yeah, I have 1 to 10. I have this, the summary close. I have the other. I can go through a series of these or which one I think is going to work the best. And it often does. But I like being able to read what they wanted back, right? What they thought was very important. So to me, those are great. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a few bonuses. So there's another one, a direct close. Sometimes simplest is the strongest. And I will say sometimes it just works. So it could be, hey, are you ready to move forward? And they're like, yeah, great, let's do it. All right. Or let's get your home on the market. Okay. If you built enough trust through the appointment, many clients simply say yes. And I'm going to give you one absolutely killer that saved me so much time, guys. Okay. I will put it in my free or paid coaching group. And as a bonus, it is probably my absolute favorite thing to save time and get closes very quickly. And I will include that in my free coaching group, but I'll put the link or the paid. You guys will absolutely love it. It's worth it. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope those helped. Reach out to me if you're using any of those or you have variations on it, or if there's something else you think is amazing. Love to hear it. These I just know for a fact have worked for me so many times. Okay, it's ridiculous. But the little extra step that I do certainly helps. So make sure you jump in to my paid coaching or my free one. I'll include either one for you guys. All right. I appreciate it. I love you coming here and watching this stuff. I try to really think of great things for you, and I'm just going to keep doing it and help, and you're going to learn, and you're going to get a lot of value from it. All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Please make sure you subscribe and like, and go out there and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.